Yeah, Tommy, how's the ankle been feeling, and how difficult has this been to manage on a day-to-day basis, especially through the course of this postseason?
Yeah, I think it's definitely getting better. I didn't feel great at the end of the year, but having a couple of days off in Seattle definitely helped it recover, and it's definitely at a point where it's manageable now.
Did you tweak it at all yesterday when Bryce was tagging? It didn't seem like you were moving all that great afterwards.
No, I just got hit in the stomach, so I kind of got the wind knocked out of me a little bit, but just like a collision that was just unavoidable. So yeah, it was, but no, nothing happened with the ankle there.
Next question. You go here to Bob, front row.
Coming back to ankle, could you see yourself playing in the outfield at all in October?
That's kind of just coaching decision, I guess. But I haven't really taken any reps out there yet. But maybe as we get farther on in the postseason, as the ankle starts to feel better, I'll maybe try to get out there. But at least for now, probably not.
And what did Harper say to you when he did the tag? It seemed like he was apologetic.
Yeah, you're just saying, "Oh, my bad. Like I had to make the tag. I didn't mean to hit you that hard." But I told him I would truck him next time, jokingly, obviously.
We go to Jack on the left, far left.
Tommy, what'd you guys just learn facing Sanchez in Game 1 that you kind of take into prepping for today?
Yeah, he's a really good pitcher. His stuff moves all over the place. You got to be prepared for how much his sinker and changeup and slider are going to move. So hopefully after having seen those pitches a few more times, we'll have a better idea of where they're going to end up and where they need to start.
Okay, next question. Kevin, down here in the front row.
Thanks for your time. Is it, you play 162 games during the season, you're playing every day, everything, you can kind of know what the schedule is. Here you've had weird days off between games. Now you had a night game followed by a day game, the emotion of the playoffs. Is that difficult? You just can't sort of zero in and put it on cruise control?
I think over the course of the season, you have a lot of weird travel days and, a lot of quick turnarounds. So we're kind of accustomed to having to adapt and figure it out on the fly. So, it doesn't feel too much different than regular season. So yeah, we'll be ready. We'll be prepare how we normally would. And, it doesn't seem too much different. Yeah.
Okay, next question. We're going to go over there to Carrie.
Tommy, when you returned in September, you were making really good contact, and it's continued on through the postseason. And you mentioned you made some tweaks while you were out before September, some adjustments. What sort of adjustments did you make to specifically elevate your contact, quality of contact?
It's kind of more just like staying taller and not collapsing my backside, which I'd gotten into some bad habits in the middle of the year, kind of, what was it, like June, July, August. So I really have to make sure I make that a priority during my pregame work in the cage and BP. So, just kind of little mechanical changes like that.
Okay, far back, Sonia.
Tommy, yesterday there was kind of a lot of talk about momentum, and now that you have another chance to kind of close this series out here, does it feel important to not go back to Philly for a potential Game 5?
Yeah, we would love to avoid the 5-hour flight if possible, and time change. So, yeah, we're gonna do our best to end the series here and not have to go back to Philly.
Okay, I'm gonna go here in the front, Jay, on the left.
Hi, Tommy. One more question about ankle thing. If this game is September regular season game and you are out of a pennant race, will you gonna play this game?
Yeah, I would still be playing. Yeah, it's at a point where it just feels like a normal, kind of somewhat sore ankle, but nothing that would keep me out from playing.
Back here to Bob.
Time Bryce Harper the last couple of days has been saying how much those guys enjoy playing in L.A. A lot of guys are from here, and when you were with the Cardinals, was it the same type of thing, kind of a more relaxed, like you guys were looking forward to playing at Dodger Stadium?
Yeah, for sure. It's always fun coming back because I'm from Southern California, so coming back to Southern California is great. You're going to get really good weather, good crowds, and just a good historic stadium to play in with a good environment. So it's fun playing here. I've obviously really enjoyed playing here the last year and a half. So it's a good environment.
Okay, we're going to go to Kristen in the back on the right.
Tommy, just with facing Sanchez again, any adjustments you guys can kind of look to make that maybe you might have seen in Game 1? I know you guys made some later in the game, but something you might want to kind of do early in this one?
We kind of talked about that a little bit, but just knowing how much his pitches move, we just have to do a better job of looking for them to start in a certain spot. So it's kind of just more having familiarity with his pitch types, and I think our game plan is a little bit more refined, I guess, but we just have a better idea of what his pitches look like now.
Okay, anything else for Tommy? Good. Oh, take one more in the back, Dave. Let's say.
Hey, Tommy, last night, seventh inning, that tag play at first where Harper came off. Play like that, does it affect your ankle at all? It seemed like you were coming off a little gingerly.
No, yeah, I was. It didn't affect my ankle. I kind of just got the wind knocked out of me a little bit, so that's why I was jogging off a little bit more slowly. But he's a strong dude, so he can apply a strong tag.
Well, Dave, we just saw the announcement that Tanner Scott, the approved move. So it seems like it's due to an injury. Can you just give us some more information as to what the injury is and if there's been any testing, I guess, for Tanner at this moment?
As I understand it, it was, abscess, excision, some type of lower body, minor procedure. So I don't know a whole lot about it, to be quite honest with you. But I do know that he's recovering well. And it took place last night. So that's kind of where we're at. And so, yeah, we're replacing him with Justin Robleski.
You want to follow up?
Just quickly, so did this come like in an urgent matter, or was it something he had been dealing with?
Urgent matter. I think it started, I think there was kind of signs of the evening of the workout. I think that's where it first kind of came to light for us.
Okay, we're going to go Fabian on the left.
Is it safe to assume he's not going to be available the rest of the postseason?
I wouldn't close that door. I think obviously the way that the rules are structured, he won't be available for the CS, but I still feel that the World Series, if we're fortunate enough to get there, earn our way there, then he'll be available.
Was there a possibility that you guys could have tried to get him off the roster before yesterday's game, or was that something where there was a delay there that required?
I don't think that we knew exactly the extent of it. And so to kind of make that preemptive decision, I think we were probably a little bit more in flux.
You go, Jack, right here in the middle.
Just one more to follow up on that. What were the signs that you guys saw during the workout the other night that kind of...
You know what, Jack? I didn't even see him. So I think that was more doctor-driven. And then I got word late that night.
Okay, go to Claudia, right here.
Hey, Dave, how much flexibility do you have in your bullpen, and can you talk about how confident are you in your veterans to set the tone?
Very confident in the bullpen. I feel that everyone in the pen is available. I think, confident in the veterans that we have to set the tone, very confident that we're prepared for tonight. You'll see our best, but we got a tough customer. Sanchez, his pitch is tough. He's a heck of an arm, but I just feel that we gotta take better bats, and it's velocity, but it's a changeup down below, and we got to get him up. And we start expanding, which at times a lot of our guys have done. It just plays into his game plan. So we have to be able to trust to get into at bats and get him up in the zone and use the big part of the field.
You go in the back to Sonia.
Dave, when you pinch hit for Andy last night, was that more a reflection of kind of how he's looked at the plate lately than the matchup?
It was more of how he looked at the plate. I think that, Andy's obviously very talented, had a really nice year. For me, just kind of the at-bats, the quality, the swings that he's getting off, the uncertainty and the look, his demeanor, all that plays into, my decision. And he's back in there tonight. And my hope is that he comes in fresh and gets back to, being the player that he is. But, this postseason and even prior, I just haven't seen the quality of at-bat that we're used to seeing from Andy.
With the offense, there's kind of been the idea that being back in the postseason kind of heightens the focus. Why do you think that maybe has not been the case with Andy?
Wait, say that again?
with the offense in general, there's kind of been the idea that being back in the postseason has helped heighten some of the focus, help them take better at bats. Why do you think we haven't seen that with Andy?
I think Andy right now, I think for me, he's been pressing. I don't think that he is exactly synced up, maybe mechanically. I think he's just tentative. I think that they're bullying him with the fastball at the top of the zone. He's underneath and he's late, and he's just not convicted in his at bats, and and then balls are in the hitting zone, and he's just not getting off the swings that he needs to. So again, hoping that he can just kind of calm his nerves and know that he's a piece of this, a good piece, but he doesn't need to carry us, and I just want to see just kind of, those quality at bats.
Okay, we're going to go to Bob on the right.
Dave, would Blake Snell be a candidate today to come out of the bullpen after Glasnow?
No, he won't. He wouldn't be. Certainly, the cost, he wouldn't be, Bob, no.
Okay, I'm going to go back there to Dave.
Dave, the last month of the regular season, you were pretty open about challenging Glasnow to just be more competitive when things aren't going perfect on the mound. Is today the biggest test to see whether or not all of those talks come to fruition?
Absolutely. We're, this is the moment that I know he's been really looking forward to, a reason why he, is excited about being a Dodger and pitching in games like this. And I think that he's a very mechanical person, self-admitted, but I think that getting him to the point of just being in compete mode and trusting his stuff, knowing that, he's the best option out there, I think this is the moment that we've been waiting for. I expect him to pitch well and, deliver for us.
Okay, we're going to go to Bill on the left.
Yeah, with Andy, has this bled into his defense? He had the bad throw last night. Kind of misplayed the triple in the corner in Philly.
I don't know. I don't think so, Bill. I think that, you could argue that, earlier this year maybe, at times maybe. But the play in Philly was a tougher play. Even last night, I felt Munch should have come up and cut that ball off. And so it was an error for the center fielder, but I don't think that was a bad throw. I really don't.
Okay, we're going to go in the first row here to Kevin.
You can't afford to lose this game, and you don't want to, but, their backs are against the wall, yours aren't. So how do you play that? If you get late in the game and you have a chance to win, do you just go super aggressive or do you hold back a little bit knowing that you got one more game if you need it? Like empty the bullpen out, that kind of stuff.
This is a game that you go to win the game. You have an off day tomorrow. So this is a game that you go and exhaust all your resources to win tonight.
We good? Okay, one more. I'll take Carrie on the right.
Dave, with the kind of night that the Phillies Big Three had last night, how important is it for Tyler in the first inning?
It's important to set the tone. It is, yeah. I think for Tyler, it's really important. But as we saw from last night, it's not just the first inning; it's beyond, right? So it's important for him to just attack these guys with his 4-pitch mix and be aggressive and not run from these guys. So, but you got to make good pitches. They're good hitters, and if you get him into good counts, then certainly you see what can happen. So, got to attack these guys, and Tyler is the right guy for tonight. I really believe in him tonight.